Hello, this is Kenneth and Cynthia Reed in Muncie, Indiana. And you know, Indiana, we're told this time in the 2012 presidential election will really play a major role. And I think something that's really important that people in Indiana really need to think about. Not only the people in Indiana, but people that quite frankly, are from other states. The whole country should be concerned about this. We're looking, and basically, we have two candidates. We have a Republican candidate and we have a Democratic candidate. Now, something I think that a lot of people have forgotten about, and quite frankly, the Republicans really hope that you have forgotten about this. But first of all, when we look back and we think about 4 years ago, and we think about the crisis that our country had gone into, it was actually because of the Republican administration and the things that they did wrong. Now, because of that, and when President Obama was elected, the first thing that was said by leaders of the Republican Party was, it's our mission to make sure that this is a one-term president. And in essence, what they were saying, and I think a lot of people missed this, they came out and they said that they wanted our president to fail. And because they wanted him to fail, they were willing to do anything that was necessary to cause him to fail. Now, if we think back and we think on the debates and everything we've heard, Mr. Romney has always made it a point to talk about how successful he was at reaching across the aisle and getting things done in a nonpartisan way. Well, in order to do that, that means you had to have both, actually both groups, willing to work with one another. But remember, from the moment our president was elected, President Barack Obama, the Republican Party said that they were going to do everything they could within their power to make sure he was a one-term president. In essence, what they were saying is, we're going to make sure he fails. Now, what most people did not pick up on is when they made that statement, not only were they saying that they were going to make sure that Barack Obama failed, but they were actually saying they were going to make sure that the people in the U.S. failed. Because by him failing, then that means the country had to fail in its attempt to recover from the Bush administration. Another really important thing I think people should take into account and think on this. When you looked at the Republican National Convention, one of the first things that stands out is, I can't remember a time that you had a president of the United States fail to show up for his party in a convention. Not only did he fail to show up for his party in a convention, he has of yet to even endorse the candidate of his party. And I would just simply say this. When George Bush cannot show up, when he will not be there and the party will not allow him to be seen, if George Bush can't show up, then how in the world can we be looking to endorse, be looking to vote for a presidential candidate that, once again, his party has made it perfectly clear they really did not care about the country and the way it was going, and that they were willing to do anything that they could to make sure that the country would fail, and the fact that they wanted our president to fail. Now, the fact that our president has been successful and has achieved many things, no. Is it a perfect world? Has he completed everything? No. But once again, remember George Bush, he had 8 years to get it right. And 8 years, he got it extremely wrong. So our president inherited a situation and he dealt with a situation that, quite frankly, as you look at Mr. Romney, and he's good at flip-flopping, but he's not really good at following up on anything. So why would you think that he'd be good on following up? And being honest with the American people, even if he were president. Oh, by the way, Mr. Obama didn't have to go on a tour to apologize because the country had done anything wrong. And when we talk about arrogance, we had a president that was arrogant and did not have the support of our alliances, did not consult with our alliances. So for our president to do a thing called relationship building, in which, because the United States really had a poor image abroad. And so our president went out and met with people to actually improve the appearance of the American people and to show that we are not an arrogant people, but we are concerned about everyone. We live today in a world in which, quite frankly, we can't just think of ourselves. We have to think about people that are in other countries, and we have to show respect for them. Do we have to agree with everything they do? No. And I think our president's made it perfectly clear his stances on things when he agrees and when he disagrees. So I think he's done everything he can to make it perfectly clear how he feels about his country. And by the way, when's the last time we ever had a president in our country that not only the Republican Party has been totally disrespectful to, many people in the media have been disrespectful to? When we talk about our president, Barack Obama, most people just refer to him as Obama. A lot of people listen to a guy named Rush Limbaugh. A lot of people don't want to address it, don't want to say it. He is an out and out racist. Now that that's been said, if you disagree, that's okay. Because remember, this is America. We're in the land of the free. You can say what you think. I'm going to say what I think. We inhale the same air. And so everything that we do, remember this. When you get a chance to vote, if Bush can't show up for Romney, then that means you can't show up for Romney either, because he's not the man that you want for another 4 years or 8 years. Think on that. And maybe, just maybe, the Republicans might decide that they'll let George Bush come out. He might be able to be seen somewhere. But I say, if he can't show up, neither can Romney. Have a good evening.